Testing. 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 Hello? Testing. Hello? Testing. Hello? Hello? Nah. 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 It's the random noises portion of the program. Nah. Nah. We got a show going on today. Got a show going on today is Monday. I've been taking the weekends off. You know, maybe that's a regular thing. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. But anyway, hello users. I'm here for Monday. Today's Monday, everybody. Today is Monday. Today, I'm playing with a little fidget toy here. I don't know if you can hear that. But anyway, we got a show. Today is Monday. I think today is Monday. Today. But anyway, let's jump in. Let's jump in. Everybody, you ready for a show? I got a show lined up. So let's jump in. Is everyone ready? Hello. The flap over flippers. South Carolina bill would repeal decades-old ban on kids playing pinball. Everybody, what the fuck? Can someone let me know what the fuck's going on here? You can't play pinball in South motherfucking Carolina? Well, I guess now you can. Well, not yet, but almost. Holy shit. Not even a century ago, mothers decried pinball as a gaudy game that lured children into delinquency and schoolyard debt. In South Carolina, lawmakers wrung their hands over the cancerous and vicious machines. One senator prayed pinball would be banned before the state became, quote, like Louisiana. I love there's so much content here. Oh, pray, South Carolina will never become Louisiana on my watch. In the 1940s and 1950s, states and municipalities across the country banned the game for similar concerns, but those laws were repealed, leaving South Carolina as the last state in the nation where a pinball prohibition remains on the books, albeit unenforced. So you're allowed to play like Grand Theft Auto. That's fine. There's no laws against fucking Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. That's all good. But pinball? Holy moly. Holy moly. Wow. No less than 5 pinball-related controversies were settled by the South Carolina Supreme Court between 39 and 65, as the state and federal law enforcement officials played cat and mouse with the game's manufacturers over features that turned the devices into not-so-secret slot machines. Whoa! Nowadays, we got loot boxes. We sell our fucking 10-year-olds loot boxes, you know? They were so concerned about pinball being almost like a slot machine that they banned it outright. But now we're allowed to be, we're allowed to get loot boxes. We're allowed to jump in and play our, stupid randomized skin giveaway bullshit. Hey, I don't know, man. Maybe we need to bring back the prohibition on video games, bring it up a notch, update that shit. Holy fuck. Amid a surge in the game's popularity, a bill recently introduced in the South Carolina legislature would end more than a 60-year prohibition on children playing pinball in the Palmetto State. There's a surge in pinball? Are you allowed to play pinball video games? Like, can I play pinball on PS1? Is that allowed? I mean, the game is called pinball, State Representative Todd Rutherford sponsored the bill that would end the prohibition known as H.3 227, which was referred to in the South Carolina House Judiciary Committee and first read in Jan 10, blah, 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 blah. Bang Back Pinball Lounge. Whoa. Has campaigned for years for the law's repeal, warning lawmakers about its impact on the game's popularity. I mean, anyway, the flap over flippers. To understand how South Carolina's law came into effect, it's important to understand the game's history. Pinball can trace its roots to the early 1930s with the invention of a coin-operated pin games, a tabletop version of the French game Bagatelle, according to Michael Schiess, founder and director of Pacific Pinball Museum. Motherfucker owns a pinball museum? I mean, that's cool. Like, that's something I want to do, except, like, with something good instead of pinball, you know? Anyone ever play that Space Cadet pinball game on, like, Windows? Like 2000, was it 2000 XP? I don't know, but it was like the Space Cadet. You got some guy who's just like just way too happy to be alive, like on the side of the screen, you know, like, and then he gets some like blasters and it goes. Yeah, I used to love that shit, man. Holy fuck! I just spat all over my fucking screen. By the way, there's saliva everywhere. Baffle Ball, invented in 1931 by David Gottlieb, was a mechanical game where the player tried to launch metal balls into pockets and holes arranged on the vertical table dotted with pins. The holes and pockets were worth different points and landing blah blah blah. The game was a smash hit in stores and then it was banned. So anyway, if you live in South Carolina, you know, is your government going to end the prohibition on marijuana? Absolutely not. But they got more important things to do. So can you blame them? First, the pinball ban. Second, the weed ban. Let's see what happens. But anyway, you can read the rest of this if you'd like. And there's some more interesting tidbits in there. But very fun story to start the day. The flap over flippers. Or is it the flip over flappers? Are they flappers or flippers? I don't know. I'm talking about penguin anatomy, of course. So we got a program today. Today is Monday. Like if I move my facial muscles, like lines appear on my face. You see that shit? Like look at this. Like I can create lines on my face. With no hands. Like, look at this. No hands. No hands. Lines. They just appear. Anyway. Got a show going on today. So, everybody, as Americans, as an American myself, and I am speaking on behalf of all Americans, it is time for us once again to gather around the campfire, gather around your candlestick or your tree, whatever religious icon that you celebrate, and it's time to clasp our hands together, everybody, and cheer because the holidays have arrived early this year. That is right. I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm not talking about Hanukkah. I'm talking about another mass shooting. A suspected gunman is dead after killing 10 people at a dance studio in Monterey Park. Here's the latest. This is from CNN. A 72-year-old man found dead after a standoff with police has been confirmed as the person suspected of carrying out a deadly mass shooting at Monterey Park, California on Saturday night, according to police. He is suspected of opening fire at a dance studio, killing 10 people and injuring 10 more as the city's large Asian American community was celebrating Lunar New Year weekend. Here's what we know. Now, this is apparently breaking news. This happened last night, I believe. So not, as a result, it's possible that by the time you watch this, there will be outdated information. It's hard to know about this stuff, so just factor that in. But you know what? All we need to know, 10 people dead, 10 people might be dying at the hospital. Hey, that's not bad. I mean, we've had mass shootings in this country where like 30, 40, 50 people die, but hey, 10 and maybe it could theoretically still be 20. That's a top 10er. Maybe top 25, maybe top mass shootings, of course, because that's the leaderboard I'm referring to. The shooting happened at 10:22 p.m. local time at the Star Ballroom Dance Studio near a Lunar New Year celebration at Monterey Park. 5 men and 5 women were killed, and at least 10 others were injured. 7 of the wounded remain hospitalized. Hu Can Tran, 72, was identified as the suspect by Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna. Tran was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound on Sunday afternoon inside a cargo van. All right, so I guess this is Saturday evening. Still, this just happened. The weekends blend together for me. He had once been a regular presence at the dance studio, even meeting his ex-wife there. 3 people who knew him told CNN it is unclear how frequently Tran visited the dance hall, if at all, in recent years. Second incident, Tran is also believed to be the gunman disarmed by a group of people at a dance studio in Alhambra, California, shortly after the mass shooting in the nearby Monterey Park. Evidence found the cargo van linked Tran to both the Alhambra, and Monterey Park scenes, according to Luna, who said there would be no outstanding suspects, blah, blah, blah. So, Joe Biden offered his condolences. Isn't that great? Don't you love when the president offers his condolences? Is he going to do anything? Nah. Is he going to at least, bring the families over and, apologize to them in person for being a shitty president? Nah. But he offered condolences. Oh, wait. And we're going to fly the flag at half-staff at the White House. Wow. Wow, that's great. Anyway, it's another day in America, another weekend. I stopped doing my show for 2 days, take the weekend off, and we already got mass shootings at the Wham Wham. Once again, at this point, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't care. I don't care about mass shootings anymore. I don't give a shit about mass shootings. What do you think this is 2018? Oh, we give a shit about mass shootings. We don't care about mass shootings. As a country, the United States decided, fuck it. If we ignore it, maybe it'll go away. Just like with COVID. Let's just ignore it. See what happens. So, hey, there's a mass shooting in this country almost every day. So why the flag is ever at full staff? I don't fucking know. But anyway, Joe Biden sends his condolences, everybody. So that's good news. There you go. But wait, everyone, there's more. I know, can you believe it? So once again, everybody, we are continuing our celebration of American culture. Doesn't everyone love American culture? People come here, it's like America, the culture is so wonderful. Well, let's talk about it. 12 people injured from a shooting at a Louisiana nightclub. Can we take a weekend off of these mass shootings? First of all, why are people even going to nightclubs? There's a pandemic going on. Seriously. We are in the most brutal wave of the pandemic since it started, and people are going to fucking nightclubs. I mean, let's be honest. Do I really care that much about this mass shooting? Not really. I'm more concerned with the other mass shootings, the ones at grocery stores. People can't really avoid that. But anyway, 12 people were injured in a Baton Rouge nightclub shooting, authorities in Louisiana said Sunday. One of the victims in critical condition, police said. No arrests have been made, but police believe the early morning attack was targeted. This was not a random act of violence. Based on the preliminary investigative efforts, Baton Rouge Police Chief Murphy Paul said at a news conference, blah, 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 we believe that this was a targeted event where someone was specifically targeted and others were injured in the process. Let's be honestly, again, I mentioned Grand Theft Auto earlier, but how bad does your aim have to be for you to go into a nightclub, shoot 10 people, and you didn't even successfully get the guy you were looking for? I mean, let's be honest. I feel you gotta be one fucked up freak. You gotta be a shitty ass shooter to you have one target. First of all, why you go inside the nightclub and not just wait outside until like they go into the parking lot alone. I don't know. And like if this is a hit, if this is a targeted assassination, I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, that's the thing with this country, is like, not only are we so dumb that we just all collectively have said, all right, mass shootings at least 5 times a week, that's fine with me. We're not going to petition our people in Congress. We're not going to vote on this issue. Fuck no. We're not going to organize on this issue. Fuck no. We're just going to let our children, uncles, brothers, mothers, parents, and just, you know, whatever, just die every single week all the time, right? So that's fine. That's normal. That's America. But then our shooters are also embarrassing. Like, come on. Like, what happened to, like, the Columbine kids, man? Like, what happened to these real mass shooters, you know? Like what is this shit? You go into a nightclub, you shoot 10 people, you don't even get the guy you're looking for? Like, come on, man, come on! This is embarrassing to read. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. 3 Baton Rouge police officers were nearby when the shots were fired. I'm glad that they were nearby. Isn't that great? They were nearby. They administered life-saving aid until the emergency medical technicians arrived. Quote, we believe their immediate response prevented further injuries. Although police have some leads, Paul urged anyone else with information about the shooting to come forward. Quote, there's someone who knows something. Do the right thing. Oh, God, I got acid fucking reflux going on. Police did not say how many of the people shot were targeted. Paul declined to comment on how many shooters opened fire. Man, if there's more than one shooter and they still didn't get the guy, Jesus Christ. Quote, I do understand the interest in everybody wanting information, but remember, we have to get this right, Paul said about the ongoing investigation, and sometimes getting it right means I can't give information right now. So anyway, we don't know what's going on. All we do know, 10 people shot for no reason, because some dumbasses had some stupid toys that they didn't know how to use. I mean, I say this all the time, but Americans are toddlers. Like, the average I mean, just to bring this in, 95% of Americans don't eat fruits or vegetables. Like, what do we associate people that don't eat fruits or vegetables? Kids, right? I don't want to eat my broccoli. So 95% of Americans are toddlers. You know what happens when you don't eat fruits and vegetables, by the way? It destroys your brain. It results in neurodegeneration. You can't think clearly, right? You don't know, you get more agitated easily. You're constantly in a state of brain fog, sleepy all the time, right? And so we all know that 95% of Americans are basically toddlers. They're too dumb to know how to eat vegetables because they're fucking stupid. And so that results in their brains not functioning properly. God knows how many times this dumbass got COVID. I probably have early onset dementia, right? And then let's throw some guns in the mix. Let's give a bunch of these 5-year-old babies who don't know how to eat vegetables. Let's give them some guns, and let's give them a couple of diseases that destroy their fucking brain's ability to actually, do anything proper. And then also let's pop them into a society that's extremely fucking violent. What could possibly go wrong, right? Well, you know what would go wrong is you try to shoot one guy 10 times, you miss all 10 times, and then no one's dead. That's like, again, America overplayed their hand. Even our mass shooters are so fucking stupid they can't really do anything. They can't really get anything done anymore. So anyway, dumbass country, etc. What else is new? Places to avoid in 2023: schools, shopping malls, grocery stores, movie theaters. Yeah, I'm not leaving the house anymore. I am not leaving the house. The only time I leave the house is to go on a walk, like, through the nature, God damn it, Tyler. If you're a potential mass shooter, and you, like, that's like that fucking, the pharmaceutical commercial, like... Please, if you're a mass shooter, please do not take this message seriously. This was a joke. Please consult your doctor, etc. While we're talking about COVID, I mean, should we jump in? Should we broach the issue? Should we broach the subject? Are we allowed? Are we allowed to broach this subject? So, I talk about on my show a little bit about media literacy. When we live in a world where we know that billionaires have a message that they want to tell us, and billionaires will tell that message to us through the media, we need to be very critical of media. We need to really look at headlines with a grain of salt. And when we see something very fishy, well, it's probably too good to be true. COVID, flu, and RSV declining in hospitals as triple-demic threat fades. Now, I want everyone to look at their calendars, right? Maybe you don't have a calendar. It is the year 2023 after all. But open your phone and tell me, what is the date today? Well, as of this video recording, it is January 23rd, right? So let's look. So many patients sick with RSV had inundated Connecticut's... Max, what the fuck are you doing? This dog. Connecticut's children's medical facility that they had to be treated in hallways and playrooms facing their busiest season in memory last fall. Hospital leaders floated a plan to enlist the National Guard to help set up tents outside. Doctors braced for a dire winter looming disaster, some dubbed the triple-demic, with flu season revving up, coronavirus roaring back, and holidays providing fuel for viruses to spread. But no such surge materialized. The RSV wave had receded in Connecticut and across the country. Flu cases had rapidly dwindled. COVID hospitalizations rose briefly before Christmas, after Christmas, only to fall again. Now, note, when we talk about media literacy, so they're at the hospital and they're overbooked, right? So much so that they have so many patients overflowing into the into the hallways and into the playrooms. And then the very next paragraph is like, well, there was no surge. So, okay. So it got so bad that hospitals were putting patients in the hallway. And then the next thing, then no surge. There was never a surge. What? What? Because it didn't get worse? That means there's no surge? So it was really fucking horrible. It was really bad. And they thought, man, if it gets worse, we're fucked really badly here. But it just stayed really bad. There's no surge. Yo. It's funny. I mean, it's funny. This is just funny shit. I don't know what to tell you. Not to mention, of course, big key differences between this year, this winter, and last winter is that insurance companies aren't paying for things like COVID anymore, right? And they're definitely not paying for flu or RSV infections. So people are less likely to go to the hospital. People are more likely to die at home. There's been a lot of people that are dying at home from sickness, or, there's a lot of people that would otherwise be hospitalized, but because they don't have access to health insurance, they're not being hospitalized. They're just riding out their sickness at home. And that's happening all across the country, but you can't measure that with hospitalizations, right? So, but anyway, let's keep going. Quote, "We are seeing the normal busy, but not the very busy that I thought we would see," said Juan Salazar, physician-in-chief at Connecticut Children's in Hartford. "I'm just so pleased we're able to back to normal staffing, busy staffing, but not anything near what we saw in the fall." Now, again, they're very busy, right? This is the big problem here, is hospitals, right, are usually understaffed, right? And so they try to staff hospitals with like a little bit of buoyancy so that during the flu season, because guess what? Even before the pandemic, we knew that 40,000 people a year would die from the flu, and that's what we based our hospital system on. Now, are we going to do anything to prevent people dying from the flu? No. The CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they don't give a shit about preventing 40,000 people dying every year, right? So what happens when all of a sudden you have, 300,000 people dying every year? 400,000 people dying every year from more viruses? Is that buoyancy is blown the fuck open, right? And so what happens is these hospitals get used to operating at like 130% capacity, 140% capacity, right? And so what they do is they've been having to hire additional staff, right? And so what was happening here is they're basing their metrics off of staffing, right? This metric here is busy levels. How many people per patient, or how many patients per doctor or nurse, whatever, right? And so when you're expanding and things are getting worse over time, right? We have higher lows. That means the non-busy periods are just busy all the time, which means the surges are extremely busy, and it destroys people's ability to really interpret what normal is, right? We are so far removed from whatever normal would be. If we want to use normal, would be 2019 levels of hospital, people in the hospitals and staffing and all that levels, right? We are very far away from that. we are orders of exponential magnitude higher in all the categories. Now, again, it's not as bad as it was, before we had a vaccine, right? When we didn't know what was going on. But I also want to let everyone know that 83% of the country are anti-vaxxers, right? Most of the country doesn't have good health insurance, right? And another metric is that sick days have more than doubled. People calling in sick from work has more than doubled this year compared to the year previous, right? So, I don't know. Maybe all of those metrics are a little bit more important than one hospital saying, well, it's not as busy as we thought it would be. I'm just saying, hey, I know it's wishful thinking. One hospital says, we thought it would be a little bit worse. So does that mean everywhere is all of a sudden fine? What? Well, anyway, let's keep going. Turns out the early waves of respiratory syncytial virus and influenza peaked before the new year, according to the new data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And the expected winter uptick of the coronavirus is nowhere close to overwhelming hospitals as it did in 2021 when COVID wards were filled with unvaccinated people struggling to breathe, blah, blah, blah. So nowhere close to overwhelming hospitals. Now, again, this is like the fourth paragraph after they talked about a hospital that was overwhelmed, right? Okay, so it's nowhere close to overwhelming hospitals. Now, again, what metrics are they using for that? Right, well, we don't actually know because they're not citing anything. But based on my understanding of the media, they're probably using, like, a national metric, right? They're probably like, in the Northeast, a bunch of hospitals are extremely overwhelmed. But in the South, hospitals aren't as overwhelmed, so it evens out, is essentially what I'm guessing their model is. Now, again, I'm guessing that that's their model because they're not telling us what the model is. They're just saying things. Let's keep going. 7-day national average of hospital patients testing positive for coronavirus had declined to 39,000 as of Friday after peaking of 47,000 around Jan 10. Now, why I asked you to bring out your phone earlier, it is January 23, right? So how do we know that the threat is fading? Because we saw one data point that's going downwards. Now, is it possible, right? Is it possible that it's going to keep going downward? Yes. But if you're going to say that the threat is going away because of one reversal, come on. Come on. Really? Really? And then also, what is the threat? Now, let's look at the headline again. Threat fades. Do we know what the threat is? Well, average readers are going to read this and they think the threat is getting sick. But then if you read the article, the threat is based around hospital capacity, right? So people are going to read the headline, oh, the threat's fading. That means it's good to go out to the grocery store without my mask on, not knowing that threat is referencing the hospitals, which, by the way, they're very unclear about. And then you keep going, and really the only data point that they have that's an actual data point and not anecdotal evidence from one hospital that they found like a buddy on the payroll for is that there is one reversal. And data has gone down slightly. Now, again, is it possible? Usually, these kinds of surges, happen in the winter because it's the coldest in months like December, January, February. And when it's colder, diseases, viruses can flourish a little bit more. People are more likely to be inside and so forth. So it's very possible that the surge is going down. But we do know that these novel strains of coronavirus, as well as these different viruses, the flu, coronavirus, RSV going around at the same time, it can cause a lot of lingering issues. A lot of hospitals, a lot of people have said, and now again, hospitals, when we talk about hospitals, a lot of people would get sick, be hospitalized, and then just be sick at home for several months, but they're not hospitalized, and so therefore they don't count here, right? So factor this in as well. If you're hospitalized, it means you're on death's doorstep. You can get sick, go to the hospital, they bring your fever down, and they send you home, right? And then you just ride out your sickness for God knows how long at home, and you're not getting data mined for information so that the Washington Post can tell everyone that there's no problem, right? So factor this stuff in when we talk about articles like this. Now, again, you show this headline to the average American, and they're going to think, oh, so I can go to the movie theater, I can go to a concert. This has no bearing on that at all. But again, the media is aligned with the Republican mantra of COVID does not exist. there is no COVID. And so literally at every point, they're going to downplay it at every point. That's their role. That's the role of the Washington Post. That's the role of the New York Times. That's the role of the Republican Party. That's the role of the Democratic Party. They don't want you to panic. They want you to get infected with a disease and die, and then no one will know about it, right? So again, now, is it possible that the so-called threat is fading? Now, what is fading? Right? That is going away. Does that mean it's instantly gone? Not really. So is it possible? Yeah. But do we really know? And then also, what is our baseline? What's normal now? Right? The lowest point of hospitalizations throughout 2022 is higher than at any point in 2021. So the lowest point of hospitalizations is higher than in 2021 when the Delta surge happened. So, that's what I'm interested in, right? As far as threat fading, are we going to be higher than 2022 on average or lower than 2022 on average? Just curious. Anyway, so some food for thought there. Interesting article, I guess. Just a little interesting. Oh. Sequel, I gave up with my family. I have people in my family that became one of them was an anti-vaxxer from the jump. Then the other ones became anti-vaxxers after the first 2 shots. I gave up. It's easier for me to just write them off now. Some of them, they just don't care. That's the thing. They just don't give a shit. I try talking to them, and it just causes divides, and it just causes unnecessary anguish. So I don't know, ride it out if they're still around after this is over. I don't know. I'm sorry to offer you no negative advice here, I guess, but yeah, it's a mess. People are just too stupid. That's the thing, is the country is just too fucking stupid. My friend Lynn was a tough old bird too. She died of COVID last year. Damn, rip Lynn. If anything has a potential to shake people, I'm going to do this one. Because I covered this a little bit the other day. But this article sums up a lot of stuff that I was saying in a lot better of a fashion. And the message is clear, everybody. Billionaires at Davos don't think COVID is a cold. Now, why is it that all Western media is minimizing and downplaying COVID? How did 83% of Americans become anti-vaxxers, right? 3 years ago, right, it was like 20 to 30% of Americans that were anti-vaxxers, and everyone was making fun of them and calling them crazy. Now, 83% of Americans refuse to take a vaccine. 83%. How did that happen? The reason, billionaires. That's why. They've been buying the media for decades, and they send their messengers in the media very simple tasks. And one of them is tell everyone that COVID isn't real. Now, I covered this at Davos when videos started coming out, right? They have a shitload of COVID precautions. We're talking about a fuckload of COVID precautions. I don't know why I keep saying that. We're talking about protections. I'm mixing the word. We're talking about HEPA filters out the windwam. We're talking about masks everywhere. We're talking about PCR tests in every room. We're talking about they got that UV light that burns the virus in midair, right? They are going hard. But why is it that they would be doing that at Davos, but the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, isn't doing that in the U.S. Why? Because they get their marching orders from Joe Biden. Joe Biden gets his marching orders from the donors. The donors are the billionaires, and they pay off the politicians and the media to convince us that COVID is nothing. And that's why you have 83% of Americans that are anti-vaxxers in the middle of the deadliest wave of the pandemic so far. Meanwhile, billionaires at Davos are enjoying every precaution and protection in the sun, under the sun. So, my question to you, if you think billionaires are bad guys, do you really? Because if you don't believe that COVID is a big deal, you are doing exactly what they want you to. You're a sheep. You're a drone. You're a zombie. You have no free thought. You do what the billionaire tells you to do, and you don't think for a second about it. That's 83% of the country. This piece originally appeared in The Gauntlet, a newsletter about COVID. So I'm reading this on Slate, but you can read it from me there. In the photos of the 2023's World Economic Forum, or Davos, as it is commonly called, after the Swiss resort town where it annually occurs, you might not notice the HEPA filters. They're in the background, unobtrusive and unremarked upon, quietly cleansing the air of viruses and bacteria. You wouldn't know, not unless you asked, that every attendee was PCR tested before entering the forum. Or that in the case of a positive test, access was automatically electronically revoked. Interesting. The folks on stage aren't sporting masks, mostly, so unless you look at the official Davos health and safety protocol, you wouldn't be aware that their on-site drivers are required to wear them. You also might be surprised to learn that if at any point you start to feel ill at Davos, you can go collect a free rapid test or even call their dedicated COVID hotline. So, billionaires are telling Americans, don't worry about COVID, go to work. Don't worry about COVID, go to work, go to school and get sick like a good little boy. Go to work and die like a good little drone. Meanwhile, they think it's a big deal. Why don't schools have HEPA filters and UV lights? Because we don't care about our kids. 97% of our kids under 18s in this country, they've gotten infected at least once. 97%. Yikes. Man, polio's looking at those numbers and thinking, fuck. Good job, COVID. Can you believe that? Under 18s, an entire generation that's going to have lifelong debilitating illnesses because their parents are fucking stupid and listen to billionaires. 83% of the country. That will never cease to amaze me. If you're wondering why I say that, only 17 or 18% of the country has taken the new bivalent booster shot, which is free, by the way. It's been out for 6 months. Only 17% of the country has gotten it. That means 83% of the country, knowing that there's a vaccine, has refused it. Now, if they don't know that there's a vaccine, then for 6 months you didn't know that there was a new vaccine. Dumber than dog shit. Anyone who doesn't know about, I didn't know that they're fucking stupid. They know. And if they don't know, then they're too dumb to live anyway. So the sooner the better as far as I'm concerned. But can you believe that shit? 83% of the country. That's crazy. That's insane. I don't know. It's hard to square this information with the public narrative about COVID. President Joe Biden has called the pandemic over. The New York Times recently claimed that the risk of COVID is similar to that of the flu. In an article about holdouts that are annoyingly refusing to accept continued reinfection as their new normal, I consider myself a holdout. I'm holding out, motherfucker, until I can't anymore. Yet, this week, the richest people in the world are taking common sense, easy but strict precautions to ensure they don't catch COVID-19 at Davos. In addition to high-quality ventilation, masks, hotlines, and PCR testing, some have noted the signature blue glows of far UVC lighting, demonstrated to kill pathogens in the air, although this is unconfirmed. We can be certain, however, that the testing, high-quality ventilation, and filtration protocol is effective at preventing this kind of super spreader events most of us are now accustomed to attending. It seems unlikely to me that a New York Times reporter will follow the super rich around David Attenborough on safari the way one of their employees did when they profiled middle-class maskers last month. I don't know if I covered this article that this person is referencing, but there was an I might have covered it on here. I'm not sure, but I definitely know which one they're referring to. It was basically saying that people that are that care about COVID are introverts and social rejects, and basically they're weird and everyone in their family hates them. And yeah, I mean, everyone in my family hates me, sure. I'm weird, absolutely. I am an introvert, yes. But these are all good things, and in 5 years from now, when I've got an IQ that's about 70 points higher than yours because you have early onset dementia, I'm going to be looking pretty cool. So, right? Just think about that. Let's keep going. Why is the media so hell-bent on portraying simple, scientifically proven measures like masking in environments absent of high-quality ventilation full of people who do not have easy and consistent access to tests as ridiculous and unnecessary as hundreds of people continue to die daily in the U.S.? Why is the public accepting a new normal when we are expected to get infected over and over again at work events with zero precautions, on airplanes with no masks, at social dinners trying to approximate our 2019 normal? Why is the public accepting of this? Because they're fucking stupid. I don't know what to tell you. Anyone who hasn't yet realized, and I'm not, I'm not talking about the article here, author here, because I'm sure that they know this. They're just using rhetorical tactics here. But I mean, we need to have a serious conversation. These people, and I mean this, and I'm going to sit here, yes, in my bedroom as a high school dropout who does a stupid YouTube show, and I'm going to tell you that 80+% of people on the planet are too dumb to live. I'm sitting here and telling you that. They are selfish, crazy, narcissistic freaks. That's 80% of the population. I don't know what to tell you. They're worthless trash. Now, again, I don't say that from an elitist perspective, right? Like the billionaires, right? They just want to phase out all the humans, replace them with robots, and then also the humans that are left alive are going to be too sick to revolt. That's their strategy. I say this out of contempt for being in the same class as these fucking freaks, okay? You know why our country is so shitty? And you want to know why our country is such garbage and our politicians hate us and our cops kill us? It's because we're too lazy and fucking stupid to do anything about it. We got our fucking addictive Doritos, we got our ice cream, we got our Wendy's, we got our fucking Big Macs, we got our television, we got our smartphones, and we're too fucking lazy, stupid, and fat to do anything about it. That's just the truth. So I say this. I have given up on society. I've given up on people. I've given up on the human race. I don't care about positive outcomes anymore. I only care about myself. I'm just telling you that. I'm going to be honest. Now, if someone, right, is a fucking moron, they catch COVID, they almost die, and then they become an evangelical about it, they're like, oh shit, everyone, you got to take this seriously. All the power to them. Welcome to the fight, my friend. But these people that are resisting, I say, stop resisting the urge to convince everyone you meet. Just let them die off. 5 years from now, hey, maybe we can talk with the survivors about how to get out of this. But for now, we're going to have to wait for these people to die off. I know it sounds callous. I know I sound like a psycho. I get it. But I mean, have you been around for the last couple of years? Have you seen what these people have been doing? I'm not talking about politicians. I'm talking about the freaks, wandering around the fucking planet. The zombies driving giant metal death machines through my fucking city streets. Have you seen what these fucking losers have been up to? I mean, my God! Mass shootings almost every day. Violence is going up. Crime is going up. Isn't that interesting? We have a giant disabling event going on that causes neurodegeneration. All of a sudden, our population's angrier and more violent. Who could have thought? Right? So I say, I'm going to treat this like any sort of battle royale situation. I'm going to sit in the sidelines, let all the other players kill each other, and then just hang out until there's one guy left, and then that guy's going to be beaten to fucking shreds, going to be tired and exhausted. Then I'm going to pluck that guy down, and then boom. That's my COVID survival guide. Just sit down and wait for the freaks to kill each other. I don't know what else to do. Like, if I had any faith in humanity, what I would do is I would be begging people to change their behavior. But I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have faith in humanity. So I say, let them fucking kill each other. I don't know what to say anymore. Because if I spent the last couple of years of my life thinking, man, we really got to get people on board. I'm convinced it's not going to happen. So either I can sit back and spend the next couple of years worrying and having my cortisol levels destroy my fucking body and my vascular system. If COVID is not going to get me the stress of having to deal with trying to convince people to take me seriously, well, so I say fuck that. Fuck cortisol. I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to sit back and watch them all die. Drop like flies. So I say, mass shootings, here we come. I say, let's bring them out. Let's come on. Hurricanes, let's go. Weather storms, let's fucking do it all until this country gets its fucking shit together. But I don't think that will happen. So I say this. I am done asking people to take COVID seriously. You either do or you don't. And if you don't, your time's coming. I'm not going to worry about it. Why should I spend my fucking one life? We all get one life on this earth. Why should I spend my one life caring about a bunch of strangers that would sooner fucking see me die just because I'm fucking trans in this country? They would, so much of this country is just irreparably damaged. And you just got to know when to flush it down the drain. Right? Like reform, when it comes to the current American population, I don't think reform's going to work. We're going to have to wait until they're all gone, and we're going to have to try again. And we're going to have to learn from the mistakes. We're going to have to try again. But society, as it is, I'm done. I don't care about these people. I'm sorry. I don't. If I should care about these people, why don't they care about me? I'm not playing an asymmetrical game where I do all of my shit for other people and they fucking say thanks and then they walk away and steal my shit and then fucking just go right back to spreading COVID. Or I'm not going to help people. Right? Why bother? And maybe I'm depressed. Maybe I'm nihilistic. Maybe I'm pessimistic. I don't know. But the people that actually give a shit, I'm going to spend my resources on them. The people that actually care, the people that are nice, the people that are great to be around, the people that take shit like this seriously, I'm going to spend my resources caring about what those people have to say. I'm done with the freaks. 83% of the country anti-vaxxers, good. Fuck them. Saves me having to worry about them. Anyway, you can read the rest of this. But this just basically goes into this is essentially just begging people to take COVID seriously, which is a good thing. There needs to be articles like this, but I have signed out of this game. Last year I was making videos like, why aren't people taking this seriously? Last year, before the holidays, I was making, this is going to kill people. Is anyone? And I hope that someone in my audience maybe changed their behavior. I hope that maybe I had a positive impact. But again, I can't possibly care about most people, right? I just can't. I don't have it in me anymore. I'm sorry. I just don't care. Because they clearly don't care about people like me. They don't give a shit, okay? And I'm not saying that, they just don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about people like me. They don't give a fuck about their own family members. They're willing to kill their family so that they can have some shitty fucking dry-ass turkey, which, by the way, meat is fucking evil to begin with. But hey, whatever. So they're going to fly around the country and kill their own family because they're fucking stupid. So I say, hey, I don't care about them anymore. The sooner that they go away, the better. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to build my cool kids club. And, we're using C's for every fucking there, okay? We're going to have a cool kids club of people that actually give a shit. We're going to be fine. We're going to help each other. The freaks, fuck them. Fuck them. I'm done with them. I don't care about them anymore. I'm done begging. I'm done pleading. I'm just going to sit back and wait until I can say I told you so to these dumb fuck freaks dying on their deathbed. You know what I would love to do? Wear a hazmat suit. Go to the nearest hospital's COVID ward. Just walk over to everyone and just lean over and say, told you so. Go to the next one. Told you so. I want their dying fucking memories to be. Maybe I'm going too far with my creative writing. Obviously, I'm just joking there. But anyway, there you go. Fun P. Above it all is Tucker Carlson for smart people. Spread the truth in a hardcore way. I should be on prime time on a gigantic media outlet. Yeah, that's never going to happen. I am never, ever, ever going to get signed onto any other show. No one. I am too radical. Like, what is, like, the furthest, like, the closest network that would ever theoretically associate with me? I don't know. But I know I'm way too radical for them. So I will never be on any network, mainstream or otherwise. So I'm way too much for people. But that's fine. It's all good. I only have 10,000 subscribers because I had like 5,000 like dormant subscribers when I started this show that like are all dead accounts, so I'm playing with a toy on my desk, but I'm not showing what it is. I think it's more fun if you just hear the sound. Gigantic bag of Mega Omega nuts. Mega Omega nuts? Why is it Mega Omega? That's crazy shit. Goddamn Mega Omega. I mean, that's pretty much my news for today, by the way. I got like a little spinny thing, and I can't stop playing with it. Oh, 1776 is coming up. Awesome. I'm not going to do anything for it. Hello, John Ross. Yeah, folks, we are entering the QCOC portion of the program here. Questions, comments, or concerns. But yeah, I mean, I hope people don't misinterpret what I say. I know that there's a lot of people, I don't know how, I try my best to not be misinterpreted. I feel like most misinterpretations are on purpose, I feel like most people, if they misinterpret things that I say, they do it on purpose. Like, there's something that they think about me, or like I'm a filthy commie or whatever, so they never listen to anything I say. But I don't really care about being misinterpreted. So, but I hope people aren't offended that are in my audience per se. Sometimes I feel like maybe I go a little bit too far. Like, do I necessarily cheer for mass shootings? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I do. It's kind of hard to say. Like, I see mass shootings. Maybe. I don't know. Is this thing working? Am I live? Am I live here? But it's possible in the future that, I'll calm down a little bit, but I just think this moment in history, I'm just pretty pissed off, And if someone wants to vicariously live their anger through me, that would be great. Am I still planning on bringing back Cooking with the Bitch? Yes. I gotta learn new video editing software. That's part of it. So it's on my list. Can we see the fidget toy? No, you can't. Absolutely not. Everybody, I'm trying to get monetized on my other channel, so it'd be cool if you subscribed. Hit me up. I did do a burger episode of Cooking with the Bitch, but I never released it. So maybe I'll throw it on the season 3 Blu-ray, the deleted episode, because I never edited the episode. So maybe I'll sell that secret app someday. Now I'm offended. Unsubscribe. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Fuck. Here I am offending the users again. But yeah, I got new video editing software. I just haven't installed it. And by got, I mean illegally downloaded. So I haven't installed it, nor have I played around with it yet. Any recommendations? I'll hit me up in a month or two, and then I'll be able to recommend them. Can we see Maxie? Where is Maxie? Max! Maxie, come here! Maxie! Maxie! Just gotta wait for him. He's old as hell, so you gotta wait for his bones. Yep. My goddamn... Max! Come here, puppy! It's got old ass bones. Come here, you frickin' dog. Not this way. You gotta come this way. Come this way. They want to see you, Max. You're famous. You're famous, Max. Come here. Come here, buddy. He's underneath the desk right now. I don't know if you can see him. Just getting some goddamn thigh cam for no reason. Come on, Maxie. They want to see you. This is Max the dog. He's shy. He's shy. I don't want to recommend a software if I end up hating it, Mila. So wait until I make sure it's good. Max, why are you so old? Why are you so old? You're old. Why are you so old? Yeah, I've been really bad with doing guests on my show. I just don't like talking to people anymore. So I don't really... I apologize. Can you get membership for Super Chats? I can't do that. But someone else can. I think. I don't know. Max, you're literally sitting... He's sitting right below me, like where I would wheel my chair. Come on, Maxie. Come on, puppy. Look at this dog. Look at this doggy. I'm holding him up right now. Max. Look at him. Oh. God. This dog. Also, I got this new sweater, so thought I would show that. Yeah, that's my show for today. This is all I got, you know. Have I ever played XCOM 2? No? You know, here's a little fun fact for y'all. So I installed Steam on my new machine. Now, I have Steam mostly to play the Mega Man Legacy Collections. That's pretty much the only thing I play on there. So I install Steam on my new machine. And then you know how it says that, like, I don't have all my settings turned off yet. So I get that, like, store pop up. It's like Lunar New Year sale. I'm like, uh-oh. Now, I don't play new games. I don't. I only play remakes, and I play ports of old games that I've played before. So I'm on Steam, and it says, like, now available Grand Theft Auto, like, remaster trilogy. I bought that shit. Why? Because it falls under the category of remakes or ports. So I downloaded the new GTA, well, the new old GTA games. And so I might play those. It's been a while since I played any of those, so I might do that. If anyone wants to see some GTA 3 gameplay, maybe I'll do that at some point. I feel like most of my commentary will just be calling humanity assholes and stupid. Are you doing a show? Start uploading more political stuff. I'm just so tired all the time. Yo, Retro Boomer. Like, my recommendation, just do like the classic cell phone camera. Don't bother with editing. Like, I mean, look at me. I don't edit. I do everything in one shot. I do everything in one shot take. And the only editing that I do for this show, I mean, I edit like Cooking with the Bitch and stuff. I try to, but the only editing I do for this show is just chopping up segments, right? It's just way easier. And then it's like every time you think about saying something, do you want to think about, do I feel like editing a video? No. Do I feel, you know, so the less work you do on that front, the more you're going to be able to get past the hump of just like start a video recording and then just immediately upload it, right? Like whatever you can do to get into that flow, I think is good. Because otherwise, you know, you're not going to want to do the video because you don't want to edit the video and then you're not going to do anything. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, personally, I feel like I'm in the misanthropic phase of my life. So as far as the content, sounds good to me. Working out helps with the anger, but it makes you frustrated when you get tired. I've been walking in the morning for the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to walk in the morning before this show every day. Go for like a 30-40 minute walk. And it's been pretty great. It's super snowy where I'm at right now. Goddamn snow world. Got like a couple inches. I don't know, like 2 or 3 inches maybe on the ground. So I love walking around in the snow. That's the thing about like snow, is snow, depending on when it's fresh, right? When it's fresh snow, you can't even see roads anymore. You know, and I hate roads, you know, like I talk about this on my show a lot, is I think like society has destroyed the beauty of the world. And roads are one of the biggest examples. They just look ugly. Right? They're all over the place. You can't go walk X amount of time without running into a road. They're just fucking horrible. But when there's a fresh snow going on, then the roads all disappear. You know? Like, think about it. The roads are gone. You know, until the plows come through. You know, when the plows come through, they're back. But for that little brief period, if you can get out there when the blizzard starts and the snow's sticking, there's no plows yet. It's just you and nature. All the roads disappear and things get a lot more beautiful. And the drugs help. So. But yeah, I love snow. We got like, I don't know, somewhere around 3 inches or something right now. So I'm going to be maybe doing another walk. I just love walking in the snow. I love the sound it makes. I just love how it looks. It's just great. But anyway, roads are socialism, yeah, but like in the Stalin kind of way, where it's shit. Snow has never killed anybody. People making political decisions are what has killed them. Once the house was invented, snow has not killed a single person. Weather has not killed a single person. Just politicians. I'm playing with this goddamn toy here. I got to get all my energy out. God damn. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for today. So thank you all for watching. Share my show. I don't know who you're going to share it with, but share it with somebody. Thank you, Fun P, for the super chats. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. What do you want from me? Like, what do I say? I have an idea. Check this out. I'm going to say nothing.